what it comes down to is something that you raised that's really important to consider is that if we don't integrate the needs of individuals with a variety of different disabilities into healthcare, then there's limited access to healthcare.
My name is Nancy Marchese. I'm a board-certified doctoral level behavior analyst and a clinical psychologist. My goal is to help 2 million children with autism and their families by transforming their lives, and I can't wait to help you too.
They can't access healthcare, which then creates this like snowball effect in by which the healthcare needs become more profound,
Yeah.
right? Across the board. I mean, just, as one example that I've seen, even let's say going to the dentist, right? We've got kids on the
Yeah.
spectrum that have a really hard time, and not just kids, youth, adults, even on the spectrum, that have a really hard time going to the dentist. And so, and for because there's it in some places, there's no ways to facilitate them getting into the dentist, getting checked, even just for a regular checkup. What ends up happening? Well, needs become more profound. And then all of a sudden, they have to be put under for something that could have been prevented had they been able to access going to the dentist regularly. And that's the dent, not just that's a serious issue with the dentist. It gets magnified across the entire healthcare field, right?
Yeah.
And it starts with education, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
people within the healthcare sector understanding and being educated. Listening, I love that. Listening to to the caregivers as well, particularly if we are treating individuals that maybe can't describe their needs or, say that something's really going to bother them or they need a couple minutes or whatever that might look like for that individual, that this is really a tough situation and what makes it tough. So caregivers are in a position to do so. So we've got to give you guys time. And it's the time. I do think you're right about that. If we're just getting people in and out, in and out, in and out, okay, there's no ability to even sit down and figure out how do we best have this experience for this individual. These are really important considerations and how we can do better.
That's a big problem for my daughter. Like a lot of the time, if you ask her a question, she'll just be like, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
She doesn't know how to answer a question or identify if something's really wrong with her. Like she's been really sick. And if I ask her, does your throat hurt? Yeah. Does your stomach hurt? Yeah. Is your elbow green with purple polka dots? Yeah. Like you can't get an answer out of her. So if I take her to a doctor, they need to really examine her to get an idea of what's wrong with her.
Yes.
So, but if they're rushing everybody out the room in like assembly line fashion, they're not gonna find out.
There's only so much we could cover in the short amount of time we had today. If you found value in what we talked about, go to breakthroughautism.ca, join our newsletter, and also follow me on my socials.